Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Director of Football Sabotage with Livorno. Now in today's episode we do have our third Champions League group stage game. This time we're going to be facing Dynamo Kiev at home. So after our opening game Champions League victory against FC Porto, we followed that up with an unfortunate 1-1 draw against Torino. Now it was a game of few and far between chances, but we did take the lead through Federico Di Marco in the 29th minute through the penalty spot. And then in the 89th minute, another late equaliser for a side facing us, which seems to be a common theme, as you'll see as the games go on. They equalised and we couldn't get back. It was too late. It was game over at that point. We then had a very impressive result against AC Milan, who were, of course, in the top four last season. Federico Di Marco getting himself another goal, this time not from the penalty spot, it was from open play in the 21st minute. And then again another late equaliser. This time it was away from home against Paris Saint-Germain. We were on course for probably the most famous victory in our history, particularly in this series. But Kylian Mbappe had dashed our hopes in the 91st minute after Mate Solossi had put us in front in the 56th. After that we had a game against Juventus at home and we managed to win this one 3-1. Mammarella put us in front inside the first minute. Then Lucas Digne got his second yellow card in the 23rd whilst giving away a penalty which Federico Di Marco put away. Altaner got a goal against his old side in the 43rd minute to put us 3-0 up. But Cesar Montes got a goal. One of our old boys from West Ham, if you remember him all that time ago. A very, very good centre-half. Got them a goal in the 45th, but that was it, all she wrote for the game. They did come back into it quite a lot in the second half, but being down to 10 men, they had a huge disadvantage, and this is probably the best result of the season. And then finally, before we will play our game in the Champions League, was away from home against Cagliari, and another disappointing draw. We went in front through an own goal inside 18 minutes. They equalised inside 28, and we battered the door down, but we couldn't get the goal. And yeah, another 1-1 draw. So this is how the league table looks after that run of fixtures. We are still undefeated in the league, but unfortunately 4 draws and 4 wins is not good enough. Inter Milan are certainly running away with it for this season. 7 wins and 1 draw in their run of fixtures. So that does bring us on to today's game in the Champions League, where we will face Dynamo Kiev, who are bottom of our group on 0 points after being defeated by Porto and Paris Saint-Germain. We have them at home today, and to guarantee Europa League football, I would say if we win today, we are going into the knockout stages of a European competition, whether that's Champions League or Europa League. I'm not quite sure yet. It all depends on the away legs in the other fixtures. So this is how we're going to line up for today's game. Plizzari will start in goal. Van der Ende and Vlad Paul will be our centre-backs. Belangioli and Di Marco our attacking wing-backs, with Stoichev, Milenkovic and Solossi in the centre of midfield. Altaner, Mammarella and Ponce leading the line. So I don't really think we've got anything to fear in this game against Dynamo Kiev. Di Marco has picked up an early... No, he hasn't. He injured somebody. That's fine by me, as long as he's not the one getting injured. But yeah, we've put ourselves in a good spot in our Champions League group. Drawing away at Paris Saint-Germain is an absolutely huge result, and beating Porto at home as well is absolutely fantastic. But this is the key game. If we are to keep on pressing on for potentially a top 2 spot, we need to be beating Dynamo Kiev twice. Highlight now, Milenkovic with a corner. Mammarella's there, wins ahead, but it goes just over half an hour in. Our first highlight in what's been a really quiet first half. Another highlight now, this time 36 minutes in, and Dynamo Kiev have the ball quite deep in their own half. They're going to have to play it well to get out of this. They've knocked the ball over the top of Van der Ende, can clear it up, and Plizzari, don't mess it up, gets rid. Ponce wins the header, and we can come forward this time. Di Marco, switch the player. Just switch it. He finds Mammarella back post. Oh, he should be putting that in the back of the net. Mammarella's had a really rough start to this season. Obviously, I've tried to change things about to accommodate him and Ponce. Not too sure who to favour in terms of their specified roles. And unfortunately, Mammarella has sort of taken a back seat to Ponce since he's come in. Belangioli back post and Ponce is there. And that is one of the reasons why Ponce has a much higher ceiling. And this is going to go to VAR. Di Marco with some great play. Milenkovic, Belangioli doing excellently despite his limited stats. And that's not offside. I don't even know why that was talking about VAR. We go 1-0 up, going into half-time. 5 minutes to go. Dynamo Kiev are not really doing anything in this match. So hopefully, as long as we're not stupid, we can keep the win here. And there it is, half-time. Livorno 1, Dynamo Kiev 0. Another goal for Ponce to, I think it's maybe his 5th or 6th of the season. It's his 5th. It says on the top, Sam, if you have a look. But we'll go again. Same again, second half will be ideal. limiting them to very few opportunities. DeMarco with a free kick. Oh, Vlad Paul absolutely smashes the crossbar. I think that's what happened, but if that fell on one of our strikers, maybe we're 2-0 up there. With half an hour remaining, we are going to look to make a change. Blangioli is struggling out there, and unfortunately, actually we do have Ivanovic on the bench. I thought we might have left him out. DeMarco with a free kick in. Vlad Paul tries to keep it in play. Ponce takes the strike, gets his second goal of the game, his 6th goal of the season. And another set piece set up from DeMarco there. He's having an absolutely excellent time after we've pushed him to left wing back. And DeMarco finds Vlad Paul, back post, Ponce, excellent strike there. He had to go through a sea of bodies to be able to get that on target. But he did it, and we'll take off Blangioli and get Ivanovic on after that goal. Another highlight, this time with 20 minutes to go, and DeMarco has got the ball on the left-hand side. Milenkovic switches the play to Ivanovic. A lot of space, he can pick out the right cross. Mamarella's there, and Mamarella gets his goal. Hopefully this is the kickstart of the season that he needs. Ivanovic with an absolutely superb assist. That's why I have been training him at the right back / right wing back role to get the attacking talent that he's got to be able to do this sort of thing. And Mamarella, he's had 2 other bites at the cherry. He's done it this time. So with 15 minutes to go, we will make our other substitutions. Petrarada will come on for Stoichev. Federico DeMarco is going to have to stay on, but Jord Banga can come on for Solossi and just, calm things down a bit. Keep people fresh. 3-0 up. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I wonder what is going on in the other ties. It looks like it's a draw between FC Porto and PSG, which is absolutely fantastic for us. Or DeMarco's picked up a knock. Hopefully that's nothing too serious, because he has been probably the best player for us this season. But a draw from PSG and Porto will be absolutely fantastic for our hopes of qualifying for this group. PSG isn't the best. Maybe PSG winning would be in our best interest if we think PSG are going to end up winning the group. With 50 seconds to go, this might be an opportunity. Mamarella tries to pounce on that ball, but their keeper claims. Only 40 seconds to go, so you would imagine that this is going to be all she wrote. And there we are, full time. Livorno 3, Dynamo Kiev 0. An absolutely fantastic performance by ourselves, but it's exactly what we needed and expected it. Expected it? Expected. God, I need to sleep. But yeah, the home tie against Dynamo Kiev was always going to be crucial, and we've done the business. Now we are on top of our group. 7 points. 7 points clear of Dynamo Kiev in 4th, so 3rd place looks like it's pretty much guaranteed, barring an absolute disaster. But PSG and FC Porto draw. Actually, where am I looking? Yeah, PSG and FC Porto drew 0-0 with FC Porto at home, so you would imagine PSG might beat them in the reverse fixture. And our next group game is against Dynamo Kiev again, so if we get another victory and PSG beat Porto, that would put us 5 points clear from Porto in 3rd place, going into our tie against them. So that will be absolutely fantastic. And looking forward to that next episode. It will be against Porto, away from home. No, we've played Porto. It's going to be our next episode. It's going to be against PSG, the final game of our group stage, where we will see where we end up, whether it's Europa League or Champions League, because I believe now we're going to one of them. And just before we go, I wanted to highlight Ponce. He's absolutely flying up in terms of his attributes. He's doing incredibly well in the Champions League. 4 goals in 3 games there. Not so well in the Serie A, 2 goals in 8 games, so obviously Serie A is becoming a bit of a problem for us, despite us sitting in 2nd, drawing 4 games out of 8, especially against teams that you should be beating: Cagliari, Torino, Brescia. Napoli's a debatable one, that potentially should have been the only draw, but them 3 away fixtures should probably have been victories. But then on the other hand, you would have looked at the likes of Juventus and Milan as potential banana slips, whether that be draws or defeats. So it's swings and roundabouts, I guess. Maybe we're just not there yet to compete with Inter Milan. Another interesting thing about Inter Milan, actually, they won the title last season, but they're not in the Champions League. Their financial fair play caught up with them, and they got banned from competing in European competition. So they have the best squad in Italy based on last season, and they're not representing us in Europe. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and please consider leaving a like if you have done, and if you enjoy my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.